fired my first shot and killed people, that was heartbreaking for me because I didn't think that I would ever be in a position that I would ever have to take somebody else's life.
Brandon Bryan served for 5 years as a drone operator in the US Air Force. With his joystick, he engaged in 1,626 killings. In the end, Bryan almost perished himself.
I felt like it destroyed my soul for the longest time. If I say that I have a mental issue, if I have a mental problem with killing people, it's looked down upon. Like, if you can't do violence while you're in the military, you're a weakling. Like, no one wants to be a weakling. The predator job is inherently cowardly, inherently weak, but you have to make yourselves feel better. It's just a psychological mess.
German soldiers could soon be threatened with similar psychological stresses. The first battle drones of the Bundeswehr will be combat ready in 10 years at the latest. The Secretary of Defense has already made her decision. For her, the advantages of using drones are as clear as day.
Eine Drohne kann von oben ein weites Gelände überschauen und kann vor allem sehen, wenn unsere Bodentruppen angegriffen werden, unter Feuer geraten. Und das ist ein Riesenvorteil, ein Schutz, den wir unseren Soldaten auch gewähren sollten.
While drones may be nice to provide air support for ground troops, that is not where it ends.
Tausende von Menschen sind umgebracht worden mit diesen Kampfdrohnen. Wir brauchen nur nach Amerika zu schauen, was ist denn da in den letzten Jahren passiert?
I know that we've destroyed countless lives. It's manifested in the way that I interact with people, if I interact with the rest of the world, and it's isolated me. I stopped sleeping because, I started dreaming about my job. I couldn't escape it at all. I can't hide it. I can't isolate myself because it's just gonna end up me putting a bullet in my brain.
What were your experiences when you spoke out?
They call me a traitor. I had people telling me that I should eat a bullet, people telling me I should commit suicide. A former colleague told me that if I was ever in an area where they were flying armed drones and they were told not to take a shot, he would shoot me anyway. Like, this was someone that I knew for 2.5 years, someone that I flew with, someone that I bore my heart to, told me this. And I feel betrayed. I thought our goal was to rebuild their country, rebuild their democracy and stabilize their country, but that's not the actions that were going on. The thing that really validated my feelings was when we were hunting Anwar al-Awlaki.
Anwar al-Awlaki was an Islamist with an American and a Yemeni passport. As one of the loudest agitators of Al-Qaeda, he became known as the Bin Laden of the internet.
To the American people I say, your security will continue to be threatened as long as your government continues with its aggression against the Muslim people.
His death in 2011 marked the first targeted killing of an American citizen by a US drone.
We decided to fly armed drones over Yemen and we were going to kill him. And while we were told pretty much every day that this guy was a traitor to the United States, it was brought to my attention while we were doing this that that's a violation of the Constitution of the United States, because under the Constitution, even a traitor deserves a trial in front of a jury of his peers, and we were violating that.
America's drone program doesn't just violate its own constitution, but also international law.
The people that are giving us our orders, we have to trust what they're doing is right and just. We're really not given as much information as we probably should be given. We're just glorified cameramen,
America's drone war wouldn't be possible without Germany. Each attack in Pakistan and Yemen is processed through a data center on Ramstein Air Force Base in Rhineland-Palatinate. The federal government in Germany doesn't want to know anything about their contribution to extralegal killings. Washington has reassured them that none of their drones are piloted from Ramstein. What role does this airbase play in the international drone war?
We fly them from the United States via satellite while they're overseas. Every time we launch or land an aircraft, we have to call them up. We have to call them up and say, is our signal clear? There's a fiber optics line that goes from Ramstein Air Force Base underneath the ocean to the United States, to Nevada, to Creech Air Force Base. And so all the data points, all the information that comes from the drones go via satellite to Ramstein back to the United States. There's no other hub that I'd ever called for that, like in the entire 5 years and 5 days that I was in the drone program.
As a data hub, Germany has been supporting the global drone war for a while. Now Germany wants to acquire their own battle drones. What does that mean for the soldiers who will control these drones in the future?
I was in Nevada and New Mexico. It's a 8-foot tall by 8-foot wide by 20-foot long trailer. On one side of the ground control station, there's 2 seats and there's 14 monitors. That's like where all the light comes from. There's no noise. It's just the hum of a fan keeping the entire system cool. And you have to monitor chat on 5 different screens. We've got some guy off in some other portion of the world who's monitoring the signals intelligence. And then we have another person in another part of the world monitoring the imagery intelligence. So they're gathering this information and saying, well, this is what's going on here, 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 and here, and we can make this algorithmic determination of the nefarious activity. Like, this person might have called someone who's bad, and then they maybe have gone to a location that is known to be like a weapons storehouse, and then they went somewhere else, and so they build this kind of picture of who this person is, and instead of, you know, going in and capturing them or responding when they actually did something violent, they're just like, okay, we've determined this person is a bad person, let's take them out.
Even if the human target was calculated by a sensor operator, the drone pilot fires the deadly shot.
That was kind of like how important this is to be responsible with your actions, because you know, I believe that we made mistakes. No one ever got in trouble for killing civilians while I was in, but apparently that's kind of what happened with a lot of these strikes. And the only time anyone would get punished would be if we crash an aircraft. That's it. It's understandable that they're upset. Like, we are an invading force in their country. We've killed people. It doesn't matter if we've, you know, killed some Al-Qaeda guy that was some dude's brother. This guy might have disagreed with his brother's philosophy, but we killed his family, and so now he's got a blood feud against us. We invaded their country, and now they want us out, and anything that involves killing another human being is gonna be dirty. Because what they don't realize is, oh, this person might be on the opposite side of the world, a different culture, but you don't value them as human. Well, then they're not going to value you as human as well. So the hidden price is we lose our humanity the more that we excuse the ability to kill another human being.